Hello everyone, I want to welcome you to today's class. I'll be talking about poor eating habits that affect our health. It's not just all about eating. There are times that you eat and you don't get the best out of food. Not because the food is not nutritious, not because the food is not useful, but just because of the way you go about it. We have so many poor eating habits that we've been engaging in over time, and it has really been an issue to our health. So I'm going to be talking about five major habits that we're engaging in is actually making us not to get the best out of our food. Whenever food goes through your mouth, it gets to your gastrointestinal tract. They call it the GIT or your guts. And when food gets in there, it is the GIT that receives your food, that actually draw out nutrients from your food and also eliminates your food. So if you want to talk about poor eating habits that affect your health, you must look at the GIT. Now, what are these five poor eating habits? Number one is dieting. And then I also forgot to mention that when you're looking at the GIT, you must look at three factors: when to start eating or when to eat, when to stop eating, and when to eliminate waste. Your body alerts you when there's a need to eat. So if your body says, I want to eat, it is good you listen to the instincts of your body. When your body says, I'm tired of eating, it is good you stop eating and actually attend to the instinct of your body. Then when the body says, I want to eliminate, either through urination or through passing out stool, it is also good you pay attention to your instincts. Sometimes we actually refuse to pay attention to our instincts, and this has landed us in so much trouble. For example, you don't feel like eating, your body is not calling for food. You just wake up and you feel like, because it's morning, I need to eat. Except you're sick, you must be able to respond to your instinct. When there's a need for material, when there's a need for food, your body will alert you. When that alertness comes, it means you have to eat. And then while you're eating and your body gets filled up, it will also alert you that there is no need for me to eat anymore. At that point, it is expected that you stop eating. And then when there's a need for you to pass that waste, your body will also alert you on the need to eliminate waste. But some of us have actually killed our instincts because over time we've made it an habitual thing, like we've made it like an habit. When the body prompts you, you neglect. When the body prompts you, you neglect it. And just imagine you talking to a friend. Let's say you have a friend and your friend is always doing things that are not right. And you're always coming up with your advice. If your friend is always neglecting your advice, I'm sure you too, you say, there's no need for me to advise you because even if I advise you, will not take it. So you leave your friend to ease your fate. That is how the body works. Over time, we've neglected all of these instincts and we put our bodies in a state of confusion. So what are some of the poor eating habits we engage in? Number one is dieting. What is the definition of dieting? We have so many definitions of dieting, but the one I'm laying emphasis on today's class is having to cut down on portions of food or refusing to eat, all in a bid to lose weight or to gain weight or possibly to influence your health. That is totally out of it. It is a poor eating habit that needs to be stopped. Anytime you go on dieting, you're supposed to eat, let's say the body alerts you that there's a need to eat, and you're supposed to eat a portion of food. You get to a point and you pause it without the body interfering. What you're trying to pass across to the body is possibly you're in a state where you cannot access food. The body assumes maybe you're kidnapped and the kidnappers are not giving you enough food to eat. So what do? They try to conserve the food for you. They start conserving energy and they start burning up muscle tissues. When they are supposed to be burning up fat, they burn up muscle and they save up the fat for you because they believe that there's a lean time coming ahead. So they help you to conserve it so that when you don't have access to food anymore, that can keep you going. And then at the end of the day, when you're done dieting and you want to resume eating, you see yourself eating more than you used to eat because over time you succeeded in storing up fat cells. So when you're dieting, you're not really doing yourself any good. You understand the concept of food. You understand some of the foods that are beneficial and are going to aid your weight loss. And then you listen to your promptings. If you can be able to get it right from understanding instincts and promptings, you get what you're seeking to achieve. And then the second point is approaching food from the standpoint of fear. Dictionary calls it orthorexia. Feel like this food is not healthy. Why am I eating it? This food is not healthy. You don't approach food from a standpoint of fear. Every time you do that, you throw your body into a state of confusion. It's a poor eating habit. Most times, some people start off with wanting to know what is healthy, what is not healthy, and then it goes overboard and they get it all wrong. I said something in the last class. I said, if you want to change your food to something that is healthy, make sure you know what is healthy and make sure you know what you're changing to. Because if you don't know what you're changing to and you decide to starve your body or you approach food with fear every single time, you will end up being more worse than the one who is eating what you call unhealthy. So all of these are poor eating habits. Don't ever approach food from the standpoint of fear. You're supposed to approach food with a form of gladness, happiness. You just you're not supposed to look at food and be scared like this food I'm eating. Hope it will not kill me. Hope this one will not raise my sugar level. Hope this one will not raise my high blood pressure. What is all that? All of those things are poor eating habits. I think the greatest teacher of all times made a statement, a profound statement, when he said, "Be anxious for nothing." And the first thing he said was about what to eat. You're not supposed to be anxious of what to eat. That is anxiousness. Being extremely worried of your food. That is a poor eating habit. And then the third one is gluttony. Gluttony is just an excessive way of eating. Some of us, we cannot see food and close our eyes. We just want to eat, 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 eat. I used to have a cousin. Whenever he wakes up in the morning and he's sweeping, his eyes are all over the dining table. What is there? If anybody is eating, he's looking at it, hope they will not finish the food. His mind is always on food. Every time you see him thinking about food, that is not a good way. That's a very poor habit, a poor eating habit. If you hope to get the best out of food, then you must cut down on all of these things I'm listing now. So gluttony is totally out of it. Don't eat as if that's the only reason why you're alive. There's a reason for food. Food is actually meant to nourish our bodies and also to do some repairs. Now, when your body needs all of those things, it will call for it. Now, going beyond that instinct and eating way too much, you're going to cause yourself a whole lot of problems. And then the next one is not paying attention to what is in your mouth. You're eating, you're rushing your food, you're thinking of something else, your mind is not there, you're just like, let me just quickly leave the dining table and attend to other things. When you're eating like that, you're not doing yourself any good. If the mouth is the point of food, where food gets into the body, then it's expected that you chew your food properly. Some of us eat food like, let's say, rice. Before they will count 1 to 10, you finish like 10 spoons. You're not even chewing it. That's because your mind is not there. Anytime you chew your food, you give the body an opportunity to release what they call digestive enzymes to help you break down food. So a lot of times you see yourself having gas in your system, you're bloated, you have digestive issues here and there because you're not paying attention to what you're putting in your mouth. So the fourth point is pay attention to whatever it is in your mouth. And then the last one is accumulating so much without eliminating them. Imagine you piling up, let's say, a bucket of water, pouring a bucket of water in a drum, and you're not taking out of it. Over time, it will spill because anytime you're putting something in a place, it is expected that you take away from it. So if you're eating, it is expected that you bring it out also. If you're constipated, you've eaten morning, afternoon, evening, throughout the day, and you've not gone to the toilet, you should be worried. It is expected that you go to the toilet at least once in a day, at least. Because there's a need for you to take things out as much as you're bringing things in. So if I'm eating consistently, I should also be going to the toilet consistently. There was a day I went to the salon to make my hair. And the hairstylist was saying something and she said she hates going to the toilet, that the toilet is the worst place ever. And I was like, "Ma, do you eat?" She said, "I like food there. I eat morning, afternoon, evening, I eat anytime." I said, "But you don't like going to the toilet?" She said, "No." I said, you're not really helping your body at all. Because anytime there's a storage of food over time and you're not bringing it out, what happens is there can be like fermentation going in there. And then your body things can start getting rotten there. Imagine a rotten place where bacteria thrive. And tomorrow you're complaining of ulcer. Tomorrow you're complaining of indigestion. You're complaining to your doctors. You can't even understand what is wrong with your body. All of these things, you are the one causing them. It is high time we start paying attention to all of these factors. There are still some others, but for the purpose of this class, I'm just listing 5. So I'm just going to run through it again. Number 1 is dieting. Number 2, approaching food from the standpoint of fear. Don't do things in excess. Too much of everything is not actually good. In fact, Hippocrates stated something. He said, everything done in excess is opposed by nature. Nature does not accept anything done in excess. So even if you want to live healthy and you want to live right, it is good and fine, but don't take it to the extreme. And then gluttony, this one is totally out of it. You're not doing good to the instinct, the natural instinct. If you're fighting against your body, it's just like you fighting against your body, because those instincts are there to guide you. And if you follow them, you can never get it wrong. And then the other one is not paying attention to what is in your mouth. Whenever you want to eat, pay attention to what is before you. When it is time for food, it is time for food. Focus on what is there and do justice to what is there. And then lastly, accumulating so much without eliminating them. When it comes to elimination, I also like to talk about exercise, moving around, locomotion. Just move. Some people don't move. We sit on our chairs, we move from our houses, we get to our cars, we get to our offices, we are sitting down from morning till evening. In the evening we close. We can't, even within short walking distances, we can't walk. We take cars, we take tricycles, we take bikes, whatever. You can't walk from here to there. A distance that will cost you 15 naira with keke, you can't even walk. That is very bad. That's a bad way of living. And in times of old, our parents used to walk. They walked to the farm, they walk a whole lot. There was no means of transportation. They were walking with their legs. And then you wonder why they're living healthy and we're suffering. This is one of them. You must learn to move. Move till you sweat. Move till something comes out of your body. That's one area of elimination. You must learn to eliminate things, not just putting in things. You see mineral you drink. You must not make it a practice of not walking. You must walk. If you can run, that's good and fine. A quick brisk walk is what I'm talking about. Not the one you walk slowly, can't walking. So that's a form of elimination. Well, I believe with all of this, we've been able to learn one or two things. See you in the next class. Thank you so much.